Like any great story, this one begins with a little help from my friends at the head of the holler. From my house in Berea, Kentucky, it's just a little jump over Big Hill to get to Tim and Jane's. They live up at the head of the holler, and you gotta wind down this little road to get to their house. And Tim and Jane, they live at the head of the holler. Now they built their own house, and they cut the wood, and they milled it. From my house, there really ain't no direct path to where I need to get. I gotta go to Honaker, Virginia, but there's mountains and there's valleys, and I gotta go through the Cumberland Gap. I literally drive through the mountain. Now this mountain is beautiful, and when you pop out on the other side and you go to Virginia, you're in the Great Valley, and that whole drive, all you see are mountains. But I wind my way down to my folks' house, and then I head over to my Uncle Raymond's. Now the journey, it was beautiful, and over mountains and valleys, but it was long, but it was well worth it. But it wouldn't have been possible without Tim and Jane. They gave me that wood. It was rough, but it was straight. Like so many before me, I used the Cumberland Gap to get from the coal fields of Kentucky into Virginia. Now, from what I understand, there ain't many tunnels that go under mountains, and let alone there ain't many tunnels that go under mountains that cross state lines, so I always think it's special when I pop out on the other side. Now, when I went to Raymond's from my folks, that's a road I've traveled many times. It's also a path that I love. There ain't many that I would compare to it. It's beautiful, it's winding, it's intimidating, especially on those cold winter mornings, but it's beautiful. And often you can see the snow on top of Clinch Mountain. But I made it to Raymond's, and we transformed them boards into beautiful, fresh, clean slabs that were worthy of the love and the time that I wanted to put into this project. Now, watching Raymond work the scroll saw, it reminded me of all those items he had always brought to the family reunions and the time that it took to cut each piece and put them together. But we cut them, and we got them ready. And you know, it gives me great sense of pride to know that I got to work beside Raymond, and he showed me. He showed me what it takes to put these things together, because when you put something together, it's more meaningful. And on the way home, I saw these mountains are blessed, and they're blessed beyond belief. And the people that live here are pretty blessed themselves. But I brought each of them pieces home, and I started putting them together, gluing and clamping and gluing and clamping and gluing and clamping. And eventually, it took shape. They started to look like something. Over weeks, evenings, putting pieces together, gluing, sanding, clamping, drying, sanding, gluing, clamping. Let's not forget sanding. Lots and lots of sanding. There's a rhythm to it. You start to stack the pieces one by one like an assembly line, and you get that rhythm, that whoosh, 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 whoosh. And it's coming along, and you see the pieces, and then you put them together, and before long you have what you have. The finished product, or nearly finished. One last treatment of butcher block conditioning oil, and it's food grade safe. Just for you, because I want it to be used, to be useful. Each evening, each piece, each sunset is something to be thankful for. And I'm blessed to have you in my life, so thank you. I hope you enjoy this. Much love. This gumball machine is made of walnut and oak from Tim and Jane's. You can check them out at Forestry Treats. It's non-toxic and food grade. You can use it for your candies or your nuts. Make sure whatever you use is at least 3/4 of an inch wide or less, or it'll get jammed. To fill, unscrew the jar, fill it, screw the base back on top of the jar, and then flip it back over. To get your treat out, just pull the lever or on the handle, and the little slide will pull out, but you better be ready to catch it because it's going to slide right on out. Clean it just like you would your cutting board with soapy water. Rinse it and make sure you get it good and dry. And if you ever need to, the top can come off. You just got to take the screws out. I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you enjoyed this little story. Take care.